And hello, everybody. We are live. I am live here with my friend Anaiya Sophia over coming to us from France. Hey, Anaiya, how are you?
I'm great, thanks, Beth. Really good.
Good. I know it's nighttime over there. Happy full moon. I actually just posted about the full moon yesterday and how this is a really significant one going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so Anaya's in the True Path Entrepreneur Series, and I wanted to introduce her here as a little teaser for her interview, which I think airs tomorrow. And
Yeah.
Anaiya is really, she's a keeper of so much wisdom and really helps women understand their role in the world. And, she has a transmission coming up about the patriarchy. And Anaiya, I was thinking maybe we could talk about that and a little bit about, what you do and maybe, connect this to women as leaders of the new world or of the current world in some way. And maybe talk about, the series is about stepping into your purpose and really leadership and, doing work from the heart, regardless if it's a business or not, but, stepping into this role as a female leader.
Well, absolutely. I mean, the transmission is called Pulling the Plug on Patriarchy's Puppet.
I love it.
And the strap line is I refuse to prostitute my essence in exchange for wealth, fame, power, or sex. And so the transmission is to slowly, and here is the key, slowly with ease and grace and beauty, elegantly step out of this patriarchal matrix of
Mm.
where we can so easily prostitute ourselves for that false exchange of power, control, sex, or wealth. And so it gives us a taste of what it could be like where our money lenders are investing in the new world and the new system, and where our medical system is coming from a world based on truth and sacred medicine and holistic way of seeing things.
Mm.
Our education is inspired. The books are full of a true history. So it gives us a taste of what it could feel like if we were to reinvest where we place our yeses and nos and maybes.
That's so beautifully said. I love how you say that reinvest where our yeses and nos and maybes are. And this is clearly, about creating, the life you want and creating the world we want. And I think not a lot of people or not everybody understands this whole notion of the patriarchy, but I think, you explain it pretty well there. Like, what's been happening for I don't even know how long because it's what centuries now, like lifetimes. And I mean, it's so ingrained in us. It's not just recent. It's, patterns and patterns and patterns. And now, so many of us are trying to break free of these patterns and create a different way of living. And
Mm.
so can you explain what you mean a little bit about, I always think of yeses, nos, and maybes as setting boundaries and, saying yes to life and saying no to things that don't work anymore, even if they're, big systems in power that, sometimes we all feel we have no control over. But, what does it mean to say no to, let's say, I don't know, the US government, for example?
But I think the
One
first
bad example. No.
I think the first thing we have to do is slow everything right down and realize that we're being asked a question, and most likely someone or something is asking for our response. And instead of being on autopilot, we actually take in what's being asked and offered to us and feel into our essence, not so much the superficial personality that's at the surface of our being, but to actually consult mind, body, heart, and soul. Is this something I'm saying yes to? Is this something I'm saying no to? And if it's a maybe, then that's still classified as a no. Only the yes is the yes. And especially for the feminine, for women, we have been taught to be pleasing, pacifying, popular, and compromising. So we might have to do some searching before we actually find our essence and not come up with the conditioned response.
Yeah, yeah. And I love how you mentioned, I mean, it's definitely a women thing. I mean, sometimes I always question, like, why is it that most of the women I know are doing a lot of self-development work, or most of the women I know are trying to change their lives and maybe not so many men. But, I think, I'm assuming it's because we have been conditioned, we've been, taught wrong, or taught to live a certain way that isn't true to ourselves and our essence. And now, how do you think this applies to someone, as a feminine leader out there, like you, or like, me, or someone who's really trying to come into, who does really know their essence and knows, the old system hasn't been working, and I'm going to go create this new life or this new business, or, write a book or put my passion out there. How does this work in the grand scheme of things, and the breaking down of the patriarchy, or the women saying yes, and coming here to do the big work?
I think the first thing I would say to women is work, jobs, and career. These are patriarchal words. We have to realize that what we contribute to the world, what we exchange with others, is the medicine for our soul and lifestyle and incarnation. We gotta take that word job, career, and just screw it up into a tight little ball and just chuck it over our shoulder, because this is not our word. This is not our way of understanding what it is that we do to contribute and exchange with others. We really got to get to grips with this concept of sacred purpose or sacred exchange. What do I contribute to this new world that is being born and is relying upon feminine qualities to birth it? That's the question, ladies.
That is so beautifully said. And, it's funny because, I call myself a business coach, and I'm constantly struggling with the word business. I've the word, there's all these words, the word marketing, the word job, career. They don't feel really heart aligned to me, but, it's just so commonplace in our society. I don't even know what else to call it, So I tend to use this a lot, like business, I was just talking to a client yesterday. I'm like, look, just call it a project, call it. I mean, that's how I started my first business. I just called it a project until it reached a certain point, and then I could start calling it a business. But I love that you mentioned this, bringing your, I call it like gifts, bringing your sacred gifts and sacred exchange. Like you said, this is really incredible. Yeah. So tell people a little bit more about, the work that you do and how this really helps women step into this role, especially those who are, I know for me personally, I found myself, maybe up until even last year, it took many years to get to this place of, between these two worlds. I kept feeling like I was shifting into a new world and kind of still stuck in the old paradigm. And really, there was ups and downs, like a tug of war. Like, I know this is the truth, but I'm still so used to this, 40 years of living a certain way. So, how does your work that you do really help women, like, get this and see this? Like, anything in particular?
I feel what I may be up to is being able to see up ahead just a little bit, to be able to put word to what I'm seeing. And when I come back and share, whether it's my writing or my voice or something else, it's so recognizable, so familiar, and that beautiful energy of friendly exchange again gets felt. And so those who are listening or receiving just shunt forward. People call it way shower. Maybe my husband calls me a lighthouse. Like I can navigate by the stars or something. I think that's what it is. you can't even put what I do in a department anymore. It was sexuality. It was relationships. It's none of those things now. It's just whatever is current.
Yeah, I was curious. Yeah, is this how you got your transmission for, I think, is that transmission happening tonight or?
Yes, on this full moon.
Yeah. Is it just, you tap in and get it, or, I mean, is this how do your transmissions come like this?
It is absolutely live. It is in the moment. I personally am extremely uncomfortable because I haven't got a flipping clue. And that is the truth. I haven't got a clue what I'm supposed to say, how I'm supposed to say it. And all I need to do is quieten down enough to feel that first word. And that first word is part of a whole long thread. It's the most uncomfortable feeling in the world because my mind wants to know. It wants to know in advance. What am I saying, and to who and why? But there is nothing. There is no information. There's just the dark unknown and the faith that some words will start coming. And it's not channeling. I don't know what it is. But when it's done, it's like giving birth to a baby, and you're very thankful that it's done because it's such a uncomfortable place to not know and still be available.
And that's so beautiful because that's where all these gifts are located, right? It's in the unknown, in the uncomfortable, in the, doing something that kind of scares you and, in front of people. Like, I'm like, I never prepped for these talks at all. I just, I was like, oh, this actually sounds really relevant to me. Talking about patriarchal systems and this full moon and the breaking down, it's, transitions. I don't like to freak people out, but to me, I always feel like, yes, this is part of the whole breakdown of everything and rebuilding, but one little step at a time. But yeah, no, I love that you're teaching this, and this work that you do is just so important. I think it's so relevant for, these times, especially, right now. Like 2 minutes before our talk, I got a text message about voting, which is now in, I think, 2 weeks, 2 or 3, I can't even count. And it's a big deal, here in America. So I'm glad you're teaching this. Can you tell people a little bit more about where to find you, other than in the True Path Entrepreneur Series? Your interview, I know, airs tomorrow, and they can join in with your link for free.
Well, you can find me on my website, which is my whole name, anaiyasophia.com. Same again, Facebook, Instagram, all the usual places you expect to find someone. It's just my name.
This has been really awesome. And I hope I can tune into your transmission live, but if not, I'll definitely be there in spirit and, take a look at it afterwards. I think this is so beautiful. And everybody, if you're watching, just be sure to catch it. It's all about the patriarchy and your role, women's roles, and, who knows what's going to come out, but I know it will be a wealth of wisdom from Anaiya.
I'm going to send you the email anyway, Beth. So check your box.
Please. I love, I try not to get started because I can go on these rants for hours about this. I'm like, and I get very passionate. It's my Leo moon, but I'll try to take it easy. Don't want to freak people out too much watching this. Anaiya, thank you so much for being with us tonight. It was really amazing to connect with you again, and everybody will catch your interview tomorrow on the True Path Entrepreneur.
Okay.
Thanks.
See you, Beth.
Have a good night. See you soon.
Bye.